warm welcome in lesson number 4 on automation of digital marketing and social media marketing. In today's session, we guys are going to explore options that how we can automate Facebook ads, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google My Business for our products which are available on our website. So this session is going to automate all your marketing campaigns. So let's see and get started. So in today's session, let us just quickly move out to our career-oriented programs. So under this series, we are exploring a lot of career-oriented programs, and the current career-oriented program which we are taking up for automation of digital marketing is with Pristine Care. So Pristine Care looks for digital marketing professionals, those who can perform automation of digital marketing for their different campaigns for medical products, whatever they serve. So on our website, hackvitha.in or else on hackvitha.co.in, you guys can reach out to career-oriented programs and you can quickly look out Pristine Care Digital Marketing Associate position. So for Pristine Care Digital Marketing Associate Professional, there are a lot of options like the person should be skilled with Google Ads, Facebook Ads, and programmatic media. So for this, we are automating social media for our products, whatever is available on our website. So let's go for it. So here, as you all can quickly observe, I have got a script for you, which you will be coding along with me, and I will be explaining each step, step by step, whatever code we have written over here. So initially on the first cell, what you need to do, you need to install some libraries which are required in order to automate your social media pages or social media handles. Now, the very first one we will be installing here is Facebook Business. This will help you write maintain Facebook Business, as well as you will be able to create Facebook ads using Facebook Ads library. We have also used Facebook SDK for automating our Facebook requests. We also have got a library known as LinkedIn library, which you can install. We have got a request OAuth library so that we can perform two-factor authentication or authentication with authorization header request, and we can send it to the servers of Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google My Business. For handling Twitter, we need to have the library TweePy. We also have taken TabulaPy. This is recommended when you have to identify options like when you have to read a PDF and then out of that PDF information, if you want to convert that information into a pandas data frame. Suppose you have a PDF with some column kind of information available and it could be a large PDF and you won't be able to read it directly into a data frame, then TabulaPy is a very helpful library which can help you read the PDF files and read the content and store it into your two-dimensional data structure, which is data frame, which you can access using pandas library. Along with that, we have upgraded Google API Python client also, so that you can perform Google My Business automation, as well as we have required one more library known as OAuth 2 client. So these are certain libraries which are required. You can install these libraries using PIP package manager, and by specifying this command !PIP install and name of the library, you will be able to install all these libraries. So once you have got all these libraries installed and ready, you are ready to perform automation of different media. Now, initially, the first cell which we have here is Facebook ads. So we will be discussing Facebook ads in the upcoming sessions. So first of all, I would like to skip this initially. Here we have created the Facebook ad campaign. We'll come to this in our upcoming video series. Now here, first of all, we'll take the social network, LinkedIn. In order to get started with automation of LinkedIn post, I have defined a feature known as Initialize LinkedIn. This Initialize LinkedIn function is generally used in order to generate an access token from from the authenticated ID with which you want to post. Suppose I have a LinkedIn account, and using that LinkedIn account, I want to automate my post. So what I need to do is I need to get an access token for that. But one thing you all have to keep in mind, whenever you are planning to automate these social media channels will not allow you to post directly from the pages. In fact, you need an authentication token, a client ID, and a client secret, using which you will be authorized to post on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and other media. And in order to do that, you need to create an application, and that application has to be hosted on developer platform of these social media network. Every social media, let's say Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, they have their developers page. On the developers page, you have to register an application. And once you guys are done with registration of the application, you need to seek appropriate permissions. And once you have got the permissions, you will get the client ID and client secret. And using that client ID and client secret, you can register an application, and you can take access token of the users through that application. And when you have got that access token, then using the access token, you will be able to post automatically through social media accounts and social media pages. So let's quickly get started. First of all, you all can see I have grabbed a token from LinkedIn, which is a client ID and client secret. So I would like to let you know that how you guys can quickly get access to the client ID and the client secret. So first of all, what you guys need to do, you need to go to LinkedIn developers. So you can quickly go to google.com and explore LinkedIn developer network. So once you search LinkedIn developer network, you will be redirected to the URL linkedin.com/developers, which you can open. So let's open LinkedIn developers. Now, once you reach LinkedIn developers, the first thing which you need to do is you need to create an application. I have already created an application, so I would like to skip the part, but I will give you a quick brief that how you guys need to do that. So you need to quickly create an application. You need to define the application name. You need to define the privacy policy URL. Then you have to upload the image of the application. Then you need to seek the permission. For posting on LinkedIn, for signing in on LinkedIn, you need to have share on LinkedIn permissions. In case if you want to perform automatic ads on LinkedIn, you need to get a permission for marketing developer platform also. This marketing developer platform permission takes time, and it is allotted after a huge review. So it's good that when you create your application, enable marketing developer platform permissions also. Now you have to specify accept the legal terms, and you have to create the application. Once you create the application, I have created an application known as Hack with a Placement, which helps me post where I maintain all my placement oriented posts and all my social media based posts. So I have that here. Now, for every application, you're going to get a client ID and a client secret. Okay. So if I would like to show you the information which I have specified for application name, I have defined Hack with a Placement. I have also shared the privacy policy, that how we are going to utilize information of the user. In order to give you a sample of privacy policy, I have uploaded a privacy policy here on hackweather.in website, which you guys can quickly copy and reuse for your applications. So here we have specified that how we are going to maintain the user information and the cookie information, and how we are going to use the links to other websites, the information security part, the grievances, and whom to contact in case of any issue. So all that information is given in the privacy policy URL. So you can refer the privacy policy URL available on our the website hackweather.in privacy policy, and the same privacy policy I have defined over here. Along with that, I have defined the application logo. This logo won't be reflected in any of your posts, so you can choose any appropriate logo for your application. Now, once you have reached here, then you need to have authentication information. So in authentication information, you're going to get the client ID and the client secret. Click on this to show the client secret, but due to privacy issues, I cannot show my client secret with all of you. But you can click on this link in order to quickly get the client ID and client secret. And here you can see there will be 3 permissions allotted to you: to access email address of a user, to get his profile, and to get the social media profile of the member. So these will be the permissions. they should be granted for your application to automatically post on LinkedIn. Followed by, we have got OAuth 2.0 settings, and here you have to define a redirect URL. This redirect URL is very important because when you are going to take an access token of a user, then once you say initialize LinkedIn for grabbing the access token, you will be redirected to this page, whatever page you have defined over here. So it could be a localhost URL, it could be any website, it doesn't matter at all what the link is, but you will be redirected to this link, and from this link, there will be two information sent to you, the access token information and the permission information, so as to allow the post on LinkedIn. So once you guys get that post, once you guys get that access token, then you will be able to grab the token and automatically post on behalf of the URL. Now, along with that, I would like to show you the products which I have used. So I have got two added products were there: share on LinkedIn and sign in with LinkedIn. These are two products information which we have got. We have also applied for marketing developer platform on 1st March 2020, but the review is still in progress. So as I told you, this marketing developer platform review takes time. So see, it's already been a month wherein the review has been, where the application is under the review process. So it's a good idea when you create an application, post a request to access marketing developer platform also. Now, on the application dashboard, we have got some analytics also. So you have a 24-hour quota in order to post on Facebook. So what you can do is in 24 hours, you can perform 150 posts per user. So I have been using two users, and my two users make use of around 300 posts regularly. So the total number of posts which you can forward is 1,25,000 in a day. And after 24 hours, this quota will automatically be reset. Now, followed by this, we have the team members defined over here. So I have defined two team members, Devanshu Shukla and Devanshu Shukla have two accounts on LinkedIn, and from both the accounts, we automatically post on our pages. So here, you can add as many team members as you want with respect to how many posts would you like to automate each day. So we have got this information. Now, once you have got this information, you can quickly proceed to the code part. But in case if you want to read more information about how to create the application and how to get the access token, you can always go to documentation. Now, this documentation is pretty important because it will help you perform your queries, and you will be able to explore different options with which you will be able to automate your marketing. So here you have, there are various solutions available over here: consumer solutions, learning solutions, compliance solutions. But I would like to recommend you to directly go to the development. So when you go to development option here, the first thing is authentication. Now, in order to grab the authentication, you have the review available over here, that in order to perform any request with API, you need to have an authorization header. And how you are going to get the authorization header, that I'm going to tell you quickly, but you can grab information about the permissions and all other information in the authentication section of documentation. Okay. So now here is the authorization code flow. First of all, you have to configure your application. You have to create a new application. You have to allow the permissions. I have already told you there are 3 permissions required. Now, depending on that, you need to have your application credentials and the client secret, and you have to perform to request an authorization code so that you can automatically post. Now, to perform this authorization code, you have to send a GET request to this URL, www.linkedin.com/OAuth version 2 authorization. And for that, you need to provide certain parameters. And these are the required parameters. You need to specify the response type, the client ID, which you have got from the application, the redirected URI, which you have already specified in the URL, to which your application will be redirected to once you have got the authorization code, and the state, which is not required. And you also need to specify the scope with which what permissions is required. So generally we required all these three permissions: the light profile, email address, and the member social profile. So in order to grab this authorization request, we need to send a request in this format. Now I'm going to take you to my code and I'll show you how we can perform that request with Python code. So now in order to do this, you need to import some libraries. First of all, you need to import a library requests under OAuth Live, which we have installed. And from this, we are going to import an OAuth 2 session. Now, we have also imported compliance fixes so as to use LinkedIn compliance fix, which is required. We have also used requests so that we can send get request to authorization URL of LinkedIn. We have used JSON so that we can make JSON requests and we can receive the JSON response from LinkedIn, and we will be able to read the information out of the JSON response received from LinkedIn. So that's why we need JSON also. Now you're going to import OS library also. And first of all, we have to set an environment variable for authentication library insecure transport to true. This is the first uh, environment variable you need to set. Now, once you have done that, you have to define the redirect URL. So the redirect URL you are going to define should be the redirect URL which you have specified in your application. So I'll quickly take you back to the application under developer.linkedin.com. I guess so here. So under the settings, you can quickly see the authorization URL. You can quickly modify the authorization URL anytime whenever you want. So I have defined an authorization URL over here. Okay. And you need to specify, you can have the same authorization URL here. In case if you want to configure it again, you can configure it. But in case if we change it, somehow we may not get the appropriate authentication because it would be allowed to go to that URL. So we'll check in case if there is an issue, we are going to check that. Finally, here is the authorization URL, linkedin.com OAuth2 authorization, to which we are going to send a request. And here we have the token URL, which we are going to send to authorization with the access token. Now, once we have got this information, we have to define the permissions also. We have got three permissions over here: light profile, email address, member social, and organization admin. I have specified four permissions over here. Organization admin permissions will be allowed once you have got access to the page. So that has to be specified when you are seeking the permissions. So for now, I am going to remove organization admin token out of this, and you just need three of these pages. Organization admin is required if you want to manage your business pages, but for now we will be using, I'll just make one change here. I'm just going to comment this and I'll just use another scope, and in the scope we are going to take only three permissions: light profile, email address, and member social. In case if you want to post to your business pages on LinkedIn, then you need to have RW organization admin permissions also. Now we have called a constructor OAuth2 session, which is going to create a LinkedIn session for us, with which we have defined the client ID, we have defined the redirect URL, and we have defined the scope. All these three information which were required as per the documentation have been specified, and we have checked the LinkedIn compliance fix so as to check whether the request is appropriate. So once the request is compliant, our authorization session will be ready here within LinkedIn. Now we are going to define an authentication base URL. The authorization base URL is defined above. This is the authorization base URL which we have defined over here, that you have to send an OAuth v2 request to authorization. Now, once you are going to send a request to authorization URL, you are going to go to that URL and we'll click on that URL, we'll go to that URL, we're going to authorize the permission to the user, and finally, we are going to grab the token and we're going to paste the response from there. And once we got the response, then we are going to print the token information. Okay. So there is a LinkedIn function fetch token with which we are going to extract the token URL. We are going to get the authorization response also, and we are going to print the token information received. Now, out of this token information, we are going to grab the key access token, and from that, we are going to get the access token. Once we have got the access token, we are going to create a new header, and this header will be to api.linkedin.com. We are going to make a connection. We are going to keep alive. We are going to specify the authorization bearer, and the authorization header will have the bearer information. Along with, you are going to concatenate your access token, and finally, you guys are going to define your X REST LI protocol version 2.0.0, and this is important. If you do not specify this REST LI protocol version, you won't be able to make a successful call, and this is defined in the documentation itself. Now, once we have got the access token, we are going to check by accessing my own profile in order to quickly check back whether I have got the appropriate results from there. And I'm going to get the role assignee for the organization here. And finally, we're going to get that. So since I have already removed the JSON information, I would like to stop my code here. Till here, I would like to stop my code. I'll just print the token info. So these four information which I have defined, these four sections of code which I have defined over here is meant for accessing the business page. Okay, so I don't want to access a business page at the moment. In fact, I will be accessing my personal account, and using that we will be posting. So we are going to call a function, initialize LinkedIn, and finally we are going to create the LinkedIn post, which I'm going to explain you. So before that, let's just call a function. I'm going to call this function initialize LinkedIn. So in order to do that, let's quickly run this cell first so that our LinkedIn function gets initialized. We have got this function initialize LinkedIn. I'm going to run this cell. Once I run this cell, you can see that we have got an authorization request that we are going to go to linkedin.com with authorization. The response type will be code. We have specified the client ID, and we have specified the redirect URL. We have specified that we want the permission of profile, email address, and member social. And we have defined a state so as to protect the CSRF, the cross-site request forgery. Okay. So now we are going to click on this link. When we go on this link, you will be redirected. You have to log into an account. So let's say I'm going to log into one of my account. Let's say vmd.hackwith@gmail.com. I'm going to click on sign in. Once we sign in into LinkedIn account, now you guys can see he will ask you for the authorization. Since I was already authorized, hence he did not ask me for authorization, but it will ask you for an authorization. You have to click on allow, and you will be redirected to the URL which you have specified. So the redirect URI which we specified was hackwitha.in, and we have got a code in return. Okay, we have got a complete code in return along with the state. So the code which has been written, what you can do is you have to quickly copy this result and you have to put it under here. So the full redirect URL which you have received, you're going to copy that and you're going to quickly put it into the redirect URL. Once you have got that on a redirect URL, you're going to quickly run it, and you're going to get the access token. So let me just run it. So as soon as we executed this cell, now we have pasted the redirect URL and we are going to get a response. So under the response, we are going to get the access token return. So now here you can see that once I have executed that, I've got an output of an access token, and the access token is given over here. And this access token has an expiry, so which I'm going to renew as soon as my session ends. So guys, this is how you can quickly grab access to the access token which is required to post on social media. Now, once you guys have got the access token, now you have to utilize this access token information and you have to create a LinkedIn post. So now you guys know how easy it is to quickly grab the authorization, the access token for LinkedIn so that you can perform posts on LinkedIn. Now, once you have got the access token, you need to define another function. I've defined a function over here known as create LinkedIn post one. Since I have two users, I have defined two functions, create LinkedIn post one and create LinkedIn post two. So I've got authentication tokens for two different users, and I've specified the authentication token in my functions so that I can automatically post from both the accounts as soon as the schedule comes. Now, I'll quickly take you to create LinkedIn post one. Under create LinkedIn post one, I'm taking some information from my main function, which is going to give me a message, the title, the description, and the URL. These are the four important parameters which you need in order to create an article kind of post on LinkedIn. As you all know, there are various types of LinkedIn posts which you guys can make. So let me quickly show you on documentation what all kind of posts which you guys can make. So in order to make the post, you can quickly go to development and you can go to API guides. And under the API guides, we have all the API concepts available. So we go to API concepts, and here in the API concepts, you can quickly see the request methods. So request method is already defined that whenever you're going to perform a request, you can send a get request, you can send the request to V2, and you can define the service with which you want to grab the information from LinkedIn. Post that, we have the data formats available also here. So the data format is going to be application JSON. You're going to send an application JSON content to LinkedIn, and you're going to receive the JSON response. So JSON, as you already know, it's a JavaScript object notation. And this JavaScript object notation is a REST format, which is also known as representational state transfer, with which you can send a request from client side to the server of LinkedIn, and you can receive the response from LinkedIn server, and you can pre-process it on your client side. Now, apart from that, there are various other options, like we have the URLs and IDs in order to define how you have to send a specific request. In case if you want to gain an information about a person, an organization, or a sponsored account, you have to define the IDs. So here are the sample requests which you guys can quickly observe over here. Okay. Now, so these are some of the information which you guys can quickly check back from here. Now, once you have got this information, I have to take you to the consumer segment, wherein you will be able to understand how you can share on LinkedIn. Now, under the consumer section, you have to come to consumer solutions platform. You have to come to the API guide. You can quickly see the API concepts, which we have already discussed. Now, here we have the API references. Now, in the API references, you have the profile references, you have the profile API, as well as on LinkedIn solutions, some of the common consumer solutions are listed here. One of the most common is share on LinkedIn, which we are destined to do. So when you come to share on LinkedIn, it falls under the integrations. Now on share on LinkedIn, you can quickly get started by having this permission, W member social, so that you can share on LinkedIn. Now, in order to share on LinkedIn, you need to send a request to UGC posts URL. Okay. UGC post will be able to post on the application behalf with the access token on your profile. Now, what you need to do, as I've already defined, under the authorization header, you also need to have this following header X REST ALI protocol version 2.0.0 so that your requests are successful. And we are going to define that in JSON. Now, post that, you need to specify some requests, the parameters in the request, which includes author, lifecycle state. You need to specify the content, the share content which you want to share. Then you have to define the visibility. Would you like to make it to connections? Would you like to make it to public? So generally we share the post to public so that all the people, those whoever are our friends or they may not be our friends, they'll be able to view our posts. And now, what kind of specific share content you can share? That's a big question. So we come to share content, and you can see that there are different types of content you can share. So there is a property known as share media category, in which you can share a text message. You can also share an article. You can share an image only. Apart from that, you can also share media. in which you can share an article or image along with the media. So here are some of the information. So when you have to perform a text share, there is a share media category. None has to be defined. You have to define the text and you have to perform, define the ID of the person with which you want to post. As well as you have to create an article for URL share. Then you need to use the share media category article. Along with the article, you have to define the text, you have to define the description, you have to find the URL where the user will be redirected to, or the article he will be redirected to. And from that URL, with respect to meta tags, OG, open graph meta tags, the content of LinkedIn, like the image, the description, the URL may also be read and it will be reflected. And finally, under the visibility, you have to make it public in case if you want to show it to all the people, whether they are your friends or not. In case if you want to show it only to your friends, the automatic post, then you can check connections. You can also share image share also, and here is the request format. So in our demonstration, we are going to make an article post because whenever we are performing media marketing, our basic objective is to perform a conversion wherein we want the users to see our content and come to our website and explore the products which we have and make a purchase. So for this, we are going to perform an article request. Now, in order to perform an article request, I have created a variable known as header1, and this header1 is a JSON, is a dictionary. Now, within this dictionary, we have four key value pairs. The first key value pair is the content type. Content type is the key, and the value is application JSON, which is required. The second key value pair is accept, and we are going to accept application JSON result. This is the value. Then the third key is authorization value, which you have to define. And within this authorization value, you have to define bearer, and you have to define the access token which you have received for the user with which you have logged in. So in the previous cell, we have executed initialize LinkedIn. Once we initialize the LinkedIn, we have got an access token, and that access token you have to use here. Okay. And on the behalf of this access token, your application will be able to constantly post, or will be able to post on schedule defined by you on your page, on your business page, or else on your personal page. Now, finally, you have to define the X REST LI protocol version 2.0.0 so that the authentication headers are approved at the server side and your request data is accepted. Now we have to create a new variable data, and now within this data variable, we have created a new dictionary. Now, in order to quickly show you what content I have in the dictionary, let me just quickly show you. So I'll take you to JSON viewer. Under the JSON viewer, it will be very easy for you all to understand the JSON which I have specified over here. I'll quickly come to viewer. Okay, since this is not, it does not look like a valid JSON, but though it is a valid JSON, but due to variables, it is not looking like a appropriate JSON. So no problem, I'm going to define it over here. So here we have certain key value pairs. The first key value pair is the author information which you have to define. So as you all can see, under the share, they have defined, we have to specify some of the information, like we have to define the information of author. So whenever you are going to perform an UGC post, you have to define the author, you have to define the life cycle state, the specific content which you want to share, the visibility of your post. These are the four important key value pairs which you need to share. Now, when it comes to this, I've got the author, I've got the life cycle state as published, I've got the specific content which I want to share. So this is the specific content information, the share content, and finally the visibility. So visibility, I have made it to public. Now, what is the specific content which you need to share? And this is important for us. Now, first, we have to define the share content key. Now, within the share content key, we have to define another dictionary. Now, within this another dictionary, we have a key known as share commentary, and commentary is the text which will be displayed as the post text. So you're going to define the message here. So I have taken a customized message with respect to my main logic, what I would like to paste. So I've defined the message under the key text. as well as I have defined the shared media category as article. Post this article, I've defined a key value pair as media, which is a list of information. Now within this list, we have a dictionary, and within this dictionary, I've got that the status is ready and the description, which I want to show on my LinkedIn post, as well as the original URL where my user will be redirected to, and the title of the post. So that information we have defined over here in the function itself. So I'm going to quickly take you to my LinkedIn profile so as to show you a sample, what kind of sample posts are being generated and what all information we need to define and what information comes from where. So I'll quickly go to the notifications. As soon as you can see, I have been recording this video, but by the time automatically my posts are going over here, and at 54 minute I've got a post, at 51 minute I've got a post, at 40, at 23 minute I've got a post. So I've automated all these posts here, and users are getting to see my post and they're liking the posts as well. So I'll show you. So here we have generated a post somewhat like how Google uses machine learning, and there are so many posts which has been automatically posted over here. So one post I would like to show you. Let's say I have posted AI video software application engineer at Intel Corporation. So what we have done, let's say this is a post which has automatically been generated. So 17 hours ago, this post was generated automatically by the script. So here you can see that we have got a title. This is the text message which we have defined. Now, apart from the text message, we have got this image. So from where this image is coming, this image is actually coming from the meta tag available on this page. So if we go here on this page, hackweather.co.in, and if I show you the meta information of this page, you can also right click and inspect this page so as to check the meta information. But I would like to show you a better way of checking the meta information, which is metatags.io. Metatags.io is a website which can show you meta tags about your social web page and how it is going to be displayed on different pages like Facebook and different social media pages. So here you can quickly check. So now I have pasted my URL, and my URL will look somewhat like this on Google as per my meta tags defined: AI video software application engineer summer training in Delhi. Hackweather URL has been defined: join placement oriented training with Hackweather Limited. This is my message. Along with on Facebook, it is going to display somewhat like this. On Twitter, it is going to be displayed somewhat like this. So this is how automatically we are able to see how these tags are done. So if you want to see the meta tags, here the meta tags look somewhat like this, and they have to be available in the head section of your web page, okay, on your product page. So I've got a title here, I've got the meta information, the name information, the description. This is for Google, and this is the open graph which is required for LinkedIn posts, okay. So for LinkedIn posts, we need to have the type that the content is the website. I have to define the URL. So I have defined the URL here. So we have defined the title also, which we want to display it on the LinkedIn page. Along with that, the description is also defined over here, and the OG image property. So this OG image property will be read from this page, and automatically LinkedIn is going to show it. So this is the OG image which we have got over the post along with the title and the text message. Okay. So let's say if we click on this post, we will be redirected to our website, to that specific product page. And this page was also automatically generated by our automation script. So you can quickly go to the previous lessons like lesson 1, 2, and 3 also, so as to understand how that automation was done. So you can quickly see. And with respect to the requirements, we have a pool of products which will be available to our consumer who might be interested in this particular product which we are selling. Okay. So this is how you have to define your data. And once you have defined the data, you have to call a simple method known as requests.post. So you're going to send a post request to the URL UGC posts, and you're going to share the JSON data. Now, whatever data you have defined here, it is a dictionary. Okay. So now you have to convert this dictionary into JSON format. So you need to use this function json.dumps. It is going to convert your dictionary into a JSON format, and finally it is going to store it into data. And you have to define your header information also. So once this function will be called, automatically a new post will be sent back automatically to the social network using the main function. Now, in order to quickly show you, we have got another LinkedIn post which I have defined over here. We have already initialized this function. I have already shown you that. Now, if you want me, I can quickly show you how we are going to test this function, whether it is working fine or not. So we need to define 4 information: message, title, description, and URL. Okay. So let's just go with that. I'm going to add a new cell over here, and let's say I'm going to call create LinkedIn post 1. Okay. And before that, let me just get a sample message. I have to define 4 information message. Hi, this is a video demonstration. Hi, this is a test message from digital automation session. Okay. So this is the message. I need to have 4 information: message, title, description, and URL. Okay. So here is going to be the title: test message, automated marketing session. Okay. So here I'm just currently defining a title just to test. I've already written the function for automation of the script, but for your convenience, I'm just showing you how we are going to define the information and test it. Then I'm going to have a description. So description will be test description. And finally, I'm going to have a URL. So for a URL, I would like to have a URL something like one of my top posts today. I'll quickly go back to my website, hackfeather.co.in. I'll go to Get Started section. And under the Get Started section, I've got a Rackspace program. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to copy the information of Rackspace URL, and I'm going to share that URL over here. Okay. So here I'm going to perform message. I'm going to define title. I'm going to define description, and I'm going to define my URL. And similarly, I'm going to post on both of my accounts. So I will be posting on LinkedIn post 1 and post 2, which means my account 1 and account 2. So let's just quickly test. So now once we test this, we have to define the request. Actually, we need to run this. And in case if the request is not imported here, let me just quickly import requests also here. We also need to import JSON also here. Let's import JSON. Okay, so now you can see I've got response 201, response 201. So response 201 is a successful response, okay, which you can quickly check back. So I will show you the responses also, but before that, I would like to show you what has been posted over here. So I've just refreshed my LinkedIn account. I've got a new notification here. I'll quickly go to notification segment here. Okay, it might come in a minute because recently got a post here. Okay, we are going to get that in a minute. It may be in the queue of posting queue. So by the time we'll do one thing, before we check this post, we can go to the response section. Okay, got it. We can quickly check back from here. So we'll go to here to the profile. We'll go to the activity section, and here in the activity section, you can see that I have got my post done, and here I have got the notification also. Notification will be a little late, but the post has been done. So will be notified here. Let's just quickly go back to the profile and I'll show you. You can go to your profile and you can quickly go to your activity section. You can see all the posts which have been shared. And here is the last post which I have done. So here is my, hi, this is a test message from digital automation session, Oracle Database Administrator 3 Hack Within Rackspace. That was the Oracle Database link which I have shared. I've got a test message, automated marketing session. And when I click on it, I will be redirected to my Rackspace session. So this is how you can automatically post from your account on LinkedIn. Now, once you have got the successful posts done, now what we'll do, we'll quickly get back to our responses. Okay, so as to quickly understand what LinkedIn responses are. So LinkedIn responses are also very important because with respect to responses, you will be able to understand whether your post was successful or not. So we'll quickly check back here, LinkedIn response 201. Okay, so we will go to LinkedIn UGC posts documentation. So here are the responses available. You can quickly go to docs.microsoft.com integrations, community management and shares. And here under the UGC posts API, under the UGC posts, the complete information about the responses and everything would be mentioned over here. So we can quickly go here and check. Here is a detailed description of the shared media and the attributes and every target audience. How would you like to target it? All this information is specified over here under the UGC posts. So we need to quickly check back the responses which may be coming in. Okay, I just need to check where the responses are available. Okay, just give me a second. So 201 is a successful response, as you have already seen. So you can see that a successful response will return 201 created and a newly post created will be identified by the REST LI ID, whatever the ID information has been given. And there are other options also wherein you can quickly identify about other requests also. So I think they will be available on LinkedIn response codes. Error handling, here it is under the error handling section. So under the error handling section, there are various response codes information available over here. So you can quickly see that 504, 500, 429, 411, 404. So in case if you get any response code other than 201, then it means that you have landed up into an error, and you can quickly check the error here and you can handle your errors. Okay. So here is the URL which you guys can quickly utilize in order to perform error handling. Now we'll quickly get back to our automation. So this was a test message which I have done. So I'm going to delete this code as of now. Now I have defined a function over here known as post on all social networks. Now within this post on all social networks, I have taken some of these messages like a message for LinkedIn and other basic properties which may be required for other posts. Okay. So when it comes to post on all social networks, we post on Facebook ads, but currently we have commented it. We post on LinkedIn, we post on Twitter, and we post on Google My Business page also. So you can see that with one script, we are handling 5 social media platforms: Facebook ads, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Google My Business. So now I would like to quickly show you the main function from where we are operating our LinkedIn code. So here is the main function which we have maintained here. Now, in order to write the main function, we have got to import time, MySQL connector, regular expression, requests, and JSON. These are the 5 libraries are required. Then what we did, we made a connection to SQL connector. Post, we have got the connection. Now we have selected the information of the jobs from our database, like company, title, image, job file, course ID from jobs, and we have identified it in the reverse order. So which means as soon as we have got a new post on our website, let's say if we go back to our website here, so now you can see that on my website under the career oriented programs, we have got these many jobs are listed over here. Okay. So in the reverse order, which means we are going to select Rackspace first, then we are going to post about Accenture, then we are going to post about Cape Gemini, then we are going to post about SyncSort and Quest Corporation Limited and so on. Okay. So this is how it is going to be executed. Now we selected it. We have used cursor to fetch all the rows which have been returned, and we have saved it into result. So all the rows which have been returned, we are going to read each row step by step. So we are going to get a list of rows available in the jobs database, and then we are going to read each job one by one. We are going to fetch company information, title information, image information. We are going to grab the job file information. We are going And once we have got these four information, then we are going to create a custom message for LinkedIn. So we have defined a message somewhat like this: how to become title at a desired company, along with some of the hashtags. So it is also known as that hashtags are important so as to reach out to a global audience or to a bigger audience. Hence, we use these hashtags also. So you can customize your message whenever you want, and it could be like any kind of value, any kind of variable which you want to add on to your messages, you can do that. So that gives you a lot of flexibility to customize your posts and automate your posts easily. So this kind of tool or this kind of program is quite effective for digital marketing professionals, those who really want to automate marketing for different kinds of businesses they are handling. Now, along with that, we have maintained a title, we have maintained a description, and we have got the information for the course ID list, which we want to add on. Now, post that, we have extracted the job file information and we have checked if that information is already posted on the network. We are going to make a check. Though LinkedIn also checks it for 24 hours and Twitter also checks it for some duration, whether so that you cannot perform duplicate posts on the network. But for the safe side, we have also written a function so as to quickly check back whether I have already posted a content on Facebook or not. And in case if a content was posted on one network, and it may not be posted on another network, so on the next call it will be posted on other networks also. So we are checking if the content is posted on Facebook, Facebook ads, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Google My Business. So accordingly it will be posted on different stuff. Otherwise, in case if it is not posted over here, we are going to post on all social networks. If it is not posted on any of the networks earlier, then we are going to post on all social networks, and we have defined a function above to post on all social networks. Okay, where we have called all the individual functions like post on Facebook, post on Facebook ads, post on Google My Business, post on LinkedIn, post on Twitter. So we have done that, and we can integrate as many other websites if you want to integrate during in your digital marketing solution. Now we have defined a wait time of 90 minutes because it is generally said that the best option to post on LinkedIn is to have 2 to 3 posts or 4 posts, or it totally depends on the number of posts you can make. But the biggest objective behind making your post productive to people or making your post visible to the users is that you have to be consistent in posting your posts. Okay, so in order to make it consistent, programming can really help you, because it may be possible that you may not be having the same time each day in order to perform the management of the content and post it. But in case if you have a automated script, you will be able to automatically post it whenever you want. So you can run it, you can automate it, as well as you can put it on your web server, so that like a cron job, so that the web server will be automatically posting it on your behalf and you can busy doing other works. So here I have defined a time sleep of 90 minutes. So 16 to 90. So this is under seconds. So I have defined seconds into 60 seconds is 1 minute, and multiplied by 90 is 90 minutes. And finally, we are going to update that information onto the database that yes, the post has been done. So now, in order to perform this automation, if I quickly click on this, so you can see that our code will start and we will be able to automatically post it on different networks. The post on Facebook is not defined because I have not executed that cell at the top. So I'll quickly go back here, and I'm going to run all the cells which is required. So I'm going to run create on initialize the Facebook creatives also. I'm going to initialize the Facebook ad campaigns also. And these functions have been defined. LinkedIn I have already defined. And I'm going to run the ad set functions also for Google, LinkedIn, and Twitter also. Let's initialize these functions. Now, once I have initialized these functions, finally, we are ready to run our final cell. So now, once we start running the cell, now we are going to perform a check back of the posts. So we can see that we are posting on different networks. So we posted on Facebook, we posted on LinkedIn, we posted on Twitter. But since we have already done that post earlier, so from Twitter, we got a message that the status is a duplicate status, but on all other platforms, that post has automatically done. And now we are waiting for 90 minutes. So now you can see that the cell is running and it will automatically execute once the 90 minutes are over. So this is how you can quickly automate your LinkedIn marketing. And for other social network marketing, we are going to have a discussion in our further sessions. Thank you so much for being available. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube so that you will be updated with all these programmatic content so that you can make your life easy, and also press the bell icon so that the content reaches you as soon as we are done with the post. Thank you so much.